BTS behind the scenes. I feel like this is, I can't see. Hey guys, I'm back, and today I want to customize some boring white shoes. Heels, actually, and here they are. There's really nothing wrong with them. They're cute, they're functional, and they still fit. But to be honest, I've had these for a very long time, like years in fact. I think I bought them for a Halloween costume, and I haven't used them since. I've just not had any occasions that call for plain white heels. So naturally, I'm thinking that they will be the perfect blank canvases for a makeover. So for inspiration, I have my bee dress. It really does exist. I have talked about it over the years, but never, actually that's not true, but only recently did I give you guys a glimpse of it. But no more, I tell you, will her floral beauty be hidden away, where no one can see these lovely creases, which admittedly need an iron. No more will she not bring a smile to my or other passerby's face as we go out into the world. No more will she become a feast, possibly for moths, okay? Because she has broken out, she's here to stay, and she's the inspiration for today's craft, because this has and always will be what I consider my Miss Frizzle dress. It's colorful, it's fun, it's big, and it has little bees on it. Every single time I've ever worn it to work, all the kids loved it and poked it and said, "Are they real?" And I just loved it. But the truth is, I can't really call it a frizzle dress. And that's because we all know a Miss Frizzle ensemble requires 3 things. A dress, check. Awesome jewelry, which, thanks to some of you lovely viewers, I have to match this theme. And lastly, shoes, which up until this point, we have been lacking. But once again, no more, because that's on the docket for today. Is docket a word that we could use here? I don't know, but we're going with it. Actually, it's not today. Technically, it's probably gonna take a few days because, I mean, I'm bound to screw up something. So stick around to see if it works out. I'm gonna get started by wiping the shoes off with acetone. That way I have a nice clean surface for the paints to stick to later. Now I'll be mixing together a few different colors until I get as close a shade of blue to my dress as possible, and just painting everything. I'll be using regular craft acrylic paints for these, which will be fine because they aren't going to be worn often or have to stand up to the elements. But if you wanted to make something that's built to last through regular use, I definitely recommend looking into some leather acrylic paints because they'd hold up longer and withstand weather. But like I said, the acrylic paints will also work out. We just need to do a few extra steps, like the acetone cleaning. Now, because this is going to be time-lapsed footage, all the pauses for drying won't be really obvious, but I am letting everything dry fully after each coat just to make sure I have even coverage. Also, because if you add paint onto paint that hasn't dried yet, it has a tendency to remove the layer beneath it, and no one wants that. And because I'm super smart, I also made sure to wrap up my paint and paintbrush in between each dry session, because chances are I wouldn't be able to recreate the exact same shade I had started with. So all said and done, I ended up with 3 layers of the base coat, except on my final pass through, I actually ended up lightening the color because when I placed it next to my fabric, I realized it was actually pretty dark once it had dried, even though it looked very similar at the beginning. And that just didn't sit right with me, so now it's a bit lighter and I'm not sure whether or not that will actually show up on camera, but it is in person. And once I felt it had enough coverage, I took it outside and gave it a thin coat of a matte clear finish, which unfortunately I did not film because, to be honest, I was lazy and didn't want to take the camera out there, and chances are I was going to make a mess. But that's okay because we are back and I am able to lightly sketch onto the shoes because no one in this room is brave enough to freehand with paint. I don't want to mess up all my hard work. Oh, and she does it again. My creative mind just exudes brilliance, guys, because I realized I only have one of these bee dresses. I am accident prone, super messy, and bound to get paint on my dress, which I would need to be referencing in order to try to mimic the flowers and such. So, boom, another freezer bag. Let's squeeze out some of this air, zip it up, and look at that. Now I can reference it worry-free. If only I knew that my painting would look as good as it. Well, there's only so much help we can give. So let's put my fine motor skills to the test. And while I sketch, my main goal is to avoid smudging, because after all, it is pencil. Also, I'm going to try my very best to make the shoes match by working on them at the same time. Now that I'm done my sketches, I'm mixing up some yellow, orange, and cream colored paint so I can start filling in some flowers. And I will be doing this in layers. Moving on to the pink now, I'm mixing in a bit of dark red and hoping for the best. Once again, I'm painting both shoes at the same time and working in layers. Next up are the leaves, and I'm just going to take a bright dark green color and mix in a bit of brown and cream to try to match the dress, and then just continue painting away. Alright, so I have skipped ahead a bit, and this is what my shoe is looking like now. Basically, I've outlined and then filled in my pink and yellow flowers and added leaves. And because I don't want it to be too busy, since the dress already has a lot going on, and no one will see all the super small details, it will just kind of look overwhelming, I've decided to stop here, which means it's time to outline my shapes and actually find the flowers that I've made. But as you can see, we're outlining in black, and I'm quite terrified. And I've got the shakes today, so I won't be using a black paint and a thin paintbrush because I just know that this is going to end badly if I do. Instead, I plan on using this super professional double-sided black marker from DC Superhero Girls. I think we got this in like a comic book coloring pack, and yeah, I'm gonna use this. So I'm just gonna start by outlining the basic shape of the flowers and attempt to find where my petals started and ended, because I did have to go over the paint a few times to make sure it was nice and vibrant, which means we've kind of lost the lines. Ooh, I need to take off my rings. They're scratching up the paint like lead on paper. To be 100% honest, I probably should have used a paint pen, but I don't have any, so this is gonna have to do. Hopefully it does not interact in a weird way with my clear coat later on. We'll just have to cross that bridge when we come to it. Once I found all the flower shapes and I feel like it kind of looks okay, or at least it will from far away, I'll start outlining the leaves and define the little lines in the center that actually make it look like a leaf. Now I'm gonna go in and start adding darker shades into my flowers to make them look more like the ones on the dress, and also to make them look less blob-like. So I have already mixed a darker shade of both the yellow as well as the pink. In fact, I kind of made two for the pink because they seem very similar and I wasn't sure which one would be darker. And I think I'm gonna get started by painting some long lines in the center of the yellow petals. They're not going to be perfectly parallel to one another because I want them to look kind of natural, or at least as natural as you can get with a super bright acrylic flower on a shoe. And now, the pink petals. These ones here are a bit stranger to me. I don't know how well it's going to turn out since they kind of look like pink cauliflower, but I plan to do the exact same thing except in shorter brush strokes and sort of connected near the bottom of each petal. And for the leaves, I've gone ahead and mixed together a very pale, creamy vanilla color with just a hint of dark green paint. I feel like it kind of resembles what it looks like on the dress, so I'm just gonna add a few random swishes along the leaf lines that I've made. While the leaves are drying, I'm gonna go over the pink petals one more time in a darker shade just to make sure they pop. And now that everything's dry, I can go back in with the marker and make sure to define all those lines again. Okay, this looks absolutely fantastic, and I really feel like it's starting to look like the dress, but everything needs more attention. So I'm gonna start with the yellow flowers. I've mixed together a burgundy color and added a bit of white. That way I could dip a sewing needle in and draw various sized dots on the petals. This is actually really fun. And now for the most terrifying part. Adding black marker randomly with no sketches and hoping for the best, because these flowers need some stamens, or whatever you call them. And because the yellow ones don't seem as terrifying as the pink ones, since they're just long and skinny and there aren't as many to draw, I'll start with those. So I gotta make them look kind of like these, but with a fewer amount, because my flowers are obviously much smaller than those on the dress, and I don't want the shoes to look crowded or messy. Oh my gosh, this is actually working. I don't know how much I like it, but I don't hate it, and that's good? Question mark? And now the pink ones. These ones are difficult because even though they just look like weird wonky petal lettuce shapes, it doesn't really look all that flower-like. So I'm really worried that if I copy the flowers on the dress and just have black sections covered in polka dots and skinny little lines, it's just gonna look really ugly on my shoe. So I'm just gonna do some version of this, I guess, and hope that it doesn't look terrible. All right, so here is my shoe, and I'm really excited. Like, it looks really cute, guys. To be honest, it looked really cute as soon as I started outlining, but now that I've added all the extra little details, I'm really proud of myself, and you wouldn't believe how hard it was, because I have crazy shakes today, and like I said, I even had to take off my rings so it wouldn't make lines on the shoe. So at the end of the day, these look pretty plain right now, but I'm too scared to continue because I just have a feeling I'll mess them up, which really sucks because as you can see, there is quite a bit of space left, and I had wanted to make more leaves or these flowers down here, or maybe even some of the blue. But because the dress is so busy, I don't want to take away from it by having everybody ask me oh so many questions about these bad boys. And so I think I'm pretty much done. There is one or two more things I want to do to them, but that part is going to be a surprise. So I'll do that off camera and then give them one final clear coat outside, but this time with a satin finish, and then you can see the end result, which means bye for now, and I'll see you in a sec. All right, so we are back. The shoes are ready. I don't exactly look like Miss Frizzle, but I am wearing jewelry, the dress, and momentarily the shoes. Where's the hair, you might be wondering? Well, truth is I'm lazy and I did a lot of cleaning yesterday. Although if you were to look around, you definitely wouldn't think that's the case, but the truth is it is, and my arms are sore and I wasn't about to lift them above my head and fuss around trying to get curls or frizzes, if you will. So this is gonna have to do, but I feel pretty and I'm really excited to show you my shoes, which are right here, complete, shiny, sealed, and ready to wear. I've even gone ahead and added some bees. I am really excited about these because, as you might have noticed, the sides were looking a little not clean, and I said not to worry because I did have plans for the bottom. And here, oh, and they're falling. Here they are. Boom. Bee bottoms. I was gonna paint bees on them, but that was too much work, and realistically, as soon as I start wearing them, they will be scuffed, which is also why I'm filming now before I've got my footage, so that when I get my footage and I pop my little toe, it's gonna look super cute and fancy. So you're seeing this footage first, but realistically, I'm filming the footage after, and I've just said footage so many times, I think we should just leave and put these on my foots. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just so excited and they're so pretty. But before I do that, I just gotta point out that everyone who I have shown these to so far really loved them and thought that I actually cut my dress, which I'm not gonna pick up because you would see all my nakedness, and they thought that I wrapped the shoes in fabric, which was just like heartwarming because it means it looked so good, and I was so proud, and I'm actually almost crying right now because I was really happy because I didn't know how well these would turn out, and I'm just really excited that they have, and now I kind of wish that they were real shoes and everyone could have them. But since you can't, I'm really sorry. I'm thankful in advance that you like them because we all know you will. You guys are super supportive, and now I'm gonna go put them on and feel pretty outside. But first, I'm going to wrap up and say in advance, hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video because this is the end of it after that footage, of course. And if you know somebody who would enjoy it, then please share it with them. Maybe they like painting, maybe they like painting on shoes, maybe they just want to watch me paint on shoes. Who can really be the judge of that except for them? So share it and we'll see. And if you enjoyed it yourself, then please make sure you remember to comment, like, and subscribe. Fix your glasses too. You can let me know down below what you liked or didn't like about today's video, if you've ever painted on shoes or really anything before, and if so, did you use leather acrylics? Because I really want to try those out, but like I said, for the purposes of today's video and my not gonna be worn everyday shoes, I think this will be just fine. I've sealed them, they're weather protected, and you know, we're gonna put them to the test. The only thing that I'm sad about is that eventually the paint is gonna wear off the bottoms. So I want to know what that is actually like. Also, what did you paint on your items? Let me know down below. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye! And now it's time to twirl like a princess. Seatbelts, everyone! Okay, we're done. And now it's time to get glamorous. I whip my hair back and forth. Ow, I just pulled a muscle in my hip. Wow, that was painful. Behind the scenes. I should have put my hair up. Hold on, let's see what I would have looked like with frizz hair. BTS, behind the scenes. I feel like this is, I can't see. bet you it's glamorous. I bet you it's perfect. Heck yeah, bud. All right, and now we go out. I'm actually rushing to film this now because it's supposed to start pouring soon, so fingers crossed. All right, and go. This way to the bee show.